Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Welcome back to SoFlo TV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. So Mavado's son is up for trial. I never thought I would actually see Dante go into a murder trial. Jano, I actually think him did I go bust this off from long time and walk out, but they're dead ass serious and they're bringing the youth to trial. So this article just dropped, so I'm going to read the article for you, but then of course I'm going to give you some insight from another side. Alright, so it's a no jury trial for Mavado's son. Let that sink in while I'm talking to you. A no jury trial. The defense team of Dante Brooks, which is Mavado's son, the teenage son of the DJ Mavado, has opted to have a trial by a judge alone, as opposed to judge and jury. We're going to talk about that. That's deep. Brooks' trial is set to appear in January of 2021. That's January 7th is the date that's given. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be paying attention to that space, because you know enough people are saying already, I wonder if them are going to give me years like Kartel, or, you know what I'm saying, or give him even more years. Boy, this looks sticky. Anyhow, jury trials in the island courts have been suspended because of COVID restrictions, right? However, Chief Justice Brian Skies, and I've seen this name many times before, he recently said that the only trial that still needed a jury was a murder case in which the death penalty was an issue. Skies further stated that that was a small percentage, less than, let me see, he said that was a small percentage because 99% of the cases on the island can be tried by a judge alone. Now, this is not the standard way to try a case, you know. The standard way to try a case is judge and jury. But, you know, a whole COVID lockdown thing come in and things are limited and they have to be making changes in order to adhere to protocol, you know, wear your mask, social distancing, professionalism, all these things. So they have kind of put it where, boy, you have a choice now, jury or judge. Dante's team of lawyers has said they want to go before the judge alone. Now, real thing to you, this decision was arrived at having taken into consideration a number of factors. They said that our client is confident that when all the evidence is heard, he will be vindicated. And Champagne said that. So them draw for the big dog, Peter Champagne. Alright, Brooks, who is 18 years old right now, will be tried as an adult. The teenager has been in detention since 2018. You see that, people? How fast time run off? 2 years already, you know. That means that them dead serious, so them now let the youth out until them go a trial. 2 years already. He has been spending time in a juvenile detention facility in Kingston, having had his bail applications denied multiple times. Now, there was rumors out there that he had turned 18 and he was transferred over to Horizon, an adult facility. And, you know, people did say a whole bunch of things behind that. Extortion, beat up, lockdown, all kind of something. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's talk about this article and let's talk about what's about to happen. So, in 2018, he was charged jointly with 23-year-old Andre Hines for the June 5th, 2018 murder of Lorenzo Thomas, otherwise called Israel or Trullops, in Cassava P. St. Andrew. Remember that, it was a huge event, right? Gunshot bus, Mavado leave the island. Enough people did videos on it, including us over here at SoFlo TV. And I said that, yo, it's like Mavado pick up and dash, because things get hot, but him son left in the pickle. The JCF around that time, Jamaica Constabulary Force, said they wanted to talk to Mavado, but he had fled the island. So for those of you who don't remember that time, it was one of those things where we were saying, are they going to extradite Mavado back to Jamaica? I mean, it's a serious case, it's a murder case. Could they not make their case known to the US and have him extradited to face charges or all that? They're saying they only wanted him for questioning, right? Because there's a part in there where somebody said that the boss said him want him head. And if you remember correctly, this brother was, his head was almost taken off his body. I talk about Israel, right? His head was almost taken off his body, and that was the explanation that was given. Me not go into it, but let me go through the article first and finish up. So both of them, Vado's son and Andre Hines were charged. So both were charged with conspiracy to murder. They were also charged with arson, separate charge. They were charged with shooting with intent, next charge. Illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, another charge. So you have about 4 charges here. Brooks has consistently denied allegations in court. So the youth has said him not do it. It wasn't him. It wasn't me. And it's not true. But hear this. It is said that the youth where him get caught with, Andre Hines, has already spoken. Andre Hines has already, so it kind of difficult when you're Cody, when you're Linky, when you're Pari, when you're Chargy, actually give a story against your behalf. It makes your case that much harder. Because if them grab your Pari, which they did, when them grab Andre Hines, it was said that Andre Hines at the time actually told the police that yes, it's him and Dante do it. And he actually walked them through how it was done. And then there's evidence from other people, to include Israel, the youth that was killed. His father gave evidence as well. Say, him see the youth them. Him say I youth them when me know. So it's not like them could have hide from me or nothing. Me I talk to them while them I get ready to do it. And me I tell them for just left and go home and leave and these kind of things. They went through with the madness anyways. So if this is true, to have someone who saw, who was there, who identified you and is willing to testify against you, right? And is the deceased father. That means that somebody that's close to the case, not just by blood relation, but also emotionally. You definitely would not want this to go before a jury, because when a man get up and start crying and say, the way how them kill off my son, oh God, and him do it. You listen to that, me looking at your face and me tell you, sir, don't do it, and you still do it. That's the last thing they would want, is for an emotionally messed up then, if that matter, an emotionally charged atmosphere. You know what I say? It would pluck at the jury's heartstring. So it's a wise decision in one way, because you don't have to worry about the jury, and then it could also be a very not so wise decision, because now you're depending on one person alone. Can you know if it's a jury? Say if it's a jury of 6. Or say if it's a jury of 12, right? And the jury of 12 have 9 people on it that says, he's guilty, them guilty, dash them away. That's 9 of them. You have 3 more people there that are going to say, no, I'm not guilty. And this is the reason why. Let's deliberate this some more. So you have more of a chance, in my eyes. On the other hand, when you're dealing with just the judge alone, that judge there, once him say no or yay, that's exactly what it's going to be. There's no deliberation with no jury, no multiple persons. It's all down to one person. John O'Star, I wish Mavado's son all the best. Dante, you know, I wish Dante all the best. I'm out here and it don't look good. And for those of us who are fans of Mavado's music, it's been a while. And if you notice, as the months came down to it coming down to his sons, this time, when them all start talk about it's time to go to the to go before a judge. It's time to face that day. We are talking about trial and sentencing, right? So basically, he has a teenage son that is looking at a murder charge right now, and he's already been locked up for 2 years, which should tell you that the state thinks that they have damn good evidence. Matter of fact, the state has already presented some of their evidence enough to the judges for the judge or judges who have seen this conditions of his release to actually say, okay, I understand. Because remember, you know, the judge are gonna say, on what grounds are you holding Dante Brooks? And the state will have to say, these are the grounds, Your Honor. We believe that he's a menace to society. We believe he's a dangerous person. We believe that he is affluential because of who he is, and his father have money and fame. And we also believe that he is guilty because of this and this and this. And then the judge is going to say, wow, that's a lot of strong, compelling evidence. I would like to see this evidence play out in court. Dante's lawyers would have been able to secure his release by now if they could have already went in there and say, listen, the only thing they have against our client is some circumstantial evidence. He was nowhere near the scene. He was not involved. It had nothing to do with nothing. This is a scapegoatism, blah, blah, blah. And the judge would have weighed both sides already and decide, say, let him out. The state does not have sufficient evidence for the simple fact that they've had him held for 2 years already, despite top lawyers being employed to take care of this thing here, and him still couldn't secure bail on multiple occasions. This tells me that it's heading down that road where they're gonna lick him with some years. The worst part is Andre Hines and his talking and his confessions. You see it? So, boy, when you commit a crime and the person who did it with you is willing to tell and stand in a court of law against you and give all evidence as to how Uno did it, what time Uno did it, why Uno did it. Remember, I know, it was Andre Hines who actually said, and he turned over text messages on his phone, which matched text messages on Dante phone and them thing that, these are the things that they were speaking about before. So, at this point, he must say, yeah, cause Dante text me and him say, remember, I know, the boss saying want him head. And he said when he was there and they were committing the act, he reminded him again verbally, member said the boss saying want him head. And that is the reason why after they killed him, he was trying to sever his head. That deep. If this youth is guilty, because I was not there, then him deserve everything we him get because of somebody's son that they took away his life in a gruesome manner. But if he is innocent, then this is a hell of a frame up. I'm staying on the fence with this one. I want justice to play out with this one, and we will stay close to this as possible. Everybody can see that Mavado is highly affected by this. We can tell by his work ethics. We can tell by his music that he's dropping, his quality of music. He's roughly, you could say, almost all the way off the scene. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, it's only right at the man youth, and him and his youth was close. So, I can't help but to think that as a dad, he's taking this heavy. You know what I say? Go on, hold your head, Mavado. From one father to the next, me no wish this upon nobody. Alright? And we'll see how this one play out. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you think that them are gonna give him a lot of years behind bars? Or do you think that he will be out in no time? Talk up. I'm out. Peace.